whoever is watching this, because I don't know what I'm going to upload it to. It's probably been forever since you've seen me face to face or putting out anything, unless you follow me on Instagram for when I spam art and weird thoughts. So I probably should have made this video a while ago, but since these people follow me, I was like, I don't want to do this and post it possibly to Instagram or Instagram TV. Girl, no, you're not climbing on me right now. It is 87 or 88 degrees inside the house. Sorry. No, don't rub your face on this. You're gonna knock it over. I know you think when I talk it's time for you to come and climb on me, but it's too hot. He's like a big cat. He's fat and it's too hot. I'm going to try to not move around to where boobs pop out or anything weird. If I'll find a program to blur it if I do. I apologize in advance if that happens. It's really freaking hot. This gown is very lightweight and see-through, and I'm trying to keep it cut off just in case, even though it's lined. So yeah, I probably should have made this video a while ago, because any of you who've ever dealt with anything like any form of PTSD, it doesn't necessarily matter what kind of PTSD it is, just if you deal with it. Obviously, if you deal with any kind, you've been through something. Specifically, I am going to share this and hope that first it's understood I'm not putting words or thoughts or intention behind what the people who made this would be thinking or saying. This is just how this helped me. So what one of my issues is this will probably, it may make more sense to people who have been emotionally, narcissistically, or psychologically abused in any way. It doesn't matter if it's your parent, your coworker, friend, boss, teacher, partner, doesn't matter what way it happened. We all end up very similarly. So even if you don't like this kind of music, I still feel like it's important for me to say, because this helped me and because I know what it was like to be brainwashed, because brainwashed is not what we think it is. It isn't neither is amnesia. It's not a magical disease like you see in the movies that seems like unrealistically out of touch or like so rare that you barely would meet a person who has anything like this. It's so much more simple than that, and I did not know that because I myself was brainwashed. I had to deprogram myself, but what set that in motion, and sorry, psoriasis is back. What set that in motion was actually an album. So if you have ever been mentally through something abusive and traumatic, or even physically, it might help you, could help anyone. So I'm speaking to anyone who's having any kind of emotional inner issues, or maybe you don't understand why you're not happy, you don't understand why you don't know certain things, and it just doesn't make any sense. I'll explain what I did, but let me show you this first. This album, I believe, was made mostly with one of the members, mostly. I will try to refer to them as just Deb, because the guy, I think his name is Drew, doesn't take the credit for it, so the stage persona is Deb, who is like an androgynous character type. So this album, it's by Drab Majesty. It's called The Demonstration. There are a lot of songs, especially on this album, that reference the Heaven's Gate cults, which, if you don't know who that is, you can probably just look up Marshall Applewhite and you can see, oh, I recognize that man. So while I do not know the intent behind when this was written or made, and I cannot speak for the artists themselves, I can tell you this album 100% helped me to gain autonomy and deprogram myself and realize that I was brainwashed and realize that how it's done, kind of. And it's because narcissistic parents, partners, bosses, friends, anyone that's an abusive bad person who's that way, narcissistic people do things the same way that cults do things. Now, I'm gonna approach this from a place of compassion and say that people who have NPD, they learned that. They think that that's normal. They were taught that. It's an ugly, horrible way for somebody to end up that way, but that's how it happens. It is a cycle. And it's usually done gradual and subtly, and people don't know. People like me, I will be 38 this year. People like me end up not understanding and thinking they could be crazy because, when it's subtle like that, you don't see it. You don't see manipulation, conditioning. You don't see those things, especially if they're done to you from the time you're born. You don't see them. And I hope, to me, because that's how I was, pushed into this, or how I was brought into this world, rather. I think of default people as narcissists, because to me that's the normal. It's like, oh, everybody, I'm really trying to not think default people are narcissist parents or anything. Narcissist parents, partners, bosses, whatever. Like I said, it doesn't matter who it is. It's terrible no matter who it is. That album, it doesn't matter if you don't like the kind of music. I'm still suggesting that you listen to this album, that you look up the lyrics, that you learn semantics. I learned that semantics are very important in undoing abuse like this. And it's because even though words are similar and almost mean the same thing, there is a slight enough difference to where it will click in your brain when you learn what these specific different words mean, and you'll understand. Oh, sorry, it is really, really hot in here. I tried to have my hair down. I may have to pull it back up. So yes, semantics matter. If you see words, if people are using certain words in ways that are to coerce or manipulate you, it doesn't matter who it is. Look up specific words if something resonates with you and you're like, I want to know more of what that means. Like the word entitled is a good example. Look up multiple, not changed, butchered definitions, but look up classic definitions and uses of words like that. For example, words like autonomy is another good one. Like, you would think that just is the same as individuality or free thinking, or there's slight enough differences. Semantics matter when it is emotional abuse or manipulation, or narcissistic abuse or manipulation. It really matters. I don't know if I'm right in picking this up, because I am autistic as hell. I don't read expression, facial or body language, any of that stuff, in tone. And I can't, because I don't make oxytocin, because my DNA has just got a glitch in it. It's like I make bare minimum, basically. I can't really tell what emotions this music makes me feel for the most part, but I can tell you it definitely will make you feel. It seems to come from a place of interest, curiosity, praising the good parts and kind of condemning and having empathy and compassion for the bad and negative parts. I don't want to say you should have compassion for awful things, because there were a lot of awful things done to the people who sadly died or ascended, depending on what they believe worked. It doesn't come from anything bad, though. It's like, yeah, sure, there is a morbid curiosity, but I have a morbid curiosity with Ted Bundy. It doesn't mean I think Ted Bundy should be resurrected and let loose to go continue killing people. I just think his brain could have helped science had he been left alive. And he actually said a few things. He had good advice, despite being a terrible human being. He had great advice. This weird, like, I'm not in my usual setup because I don't have all of the things anymore, and I'm on my phone. Okay, so as I was saying, it's the compassion and empathy part that is going to speak to you, I think. And I have to say I think, because again, I'm not Deb, I don't know. And I am approaching this from a person who doesn't understand how people work. I kind of do, but because there's enough of the things not functioning right in me, I do have trouble understanding human beings to the same degree. But I thought, this is a band that I do not like new things usually. Usually I'm kind of an asshole about it. No, this is like my new favorite thing because the music sounds amazing and fantastic. But I think it's because I can feel it. The only song I can compare something like this to, other than something kind of recent, which would be the New Division, the song Opium. that song even I would compare to what I'm going to compare the album The Demonstration to, which is, if you've haven't heard the Swans song Love Will Save You, go look it up. I'm going to just tell you it sounds like it might be like a melodic, folkish kind of sad song at first. Like, you get this impression, but it is very misleading. It is one of the most powerful, emotion-filled songs I've ever heard in my life when you get all the way through it. It's still one of my favorite songs, but that was the first song I ever heard in my life that I could feel something from it. I don't feel something from a lot of things. Actually, most of their albums, they do have, and there are two people. There's Deb and Mona. There are, like, obviously I listen to these digitally. I haven't even opened this one. So there are other albums, and they're all fantastic. They're amazing. You know, they're really good. So it's not that the music isn't good. It's just that I can actually tell you, you can feel this. And the Swan song is the only song that I can compare that to that is an old song that most people probably know. Joy Division's music was mostly like this to me. But a lot of people don't know who Joy Division is, so I thought, oh, the Swan song Love Will Save You is kind of more known, so let's go with that. So yeah, I don't script anything as usual. You guys are used to me going on and rambling, but I felt like this was just so important to get out, because if this helped me to figure this out, it might help other people. And as much as I want to be selfish and be like, this is my amazing band that I want to keep to myself so they don't get super popular, so I can, like, you know, wave at them and stuff, or, you know, say hello. No, I can't be that way. I have to say, if it helps me, it could help so many other people, and I want all of you who are maybe going through the same thing, maybe had the same thing in your life at some point and it affected you and you might not even know it. I would rather tell you this so that you can know it, so that you can figure out that all you need to do is know that you can do it. Like, you only need to know that it's okay to have your own perspective, and it's okay for all these other people to have their own perspective. You just need to know that you can know how to do it. And I know that sounds weird, it may not make sense, but I swear I'm telling the absolute truth, and it sounds weird, but it's because I am still figuring this out and I cannot fully explain it. But I want to help people the way that I was helped, and this was a good starter for me. The other thing that you need to absolutely do if you've ever been exposed or put through any type of abuse from, again, it could be a teacher, a boss, a parent, partner, a friend, other family member, authority figure of any kind that's been that way. It doesn't matter who it is, it still affects people all in this horrible, negative, ugly way. You have to reverse engineer abuse to get better. And I know that's not the right word to use in this case. I just don't know how else to refer to it. I have a 7th grade education, I'm sorry. You have to learn as much as you can about it. Learn specifics, learn in depth. Do not stop learning about it, because things will start to click. They will start to make sense, and therefore you are kind of reverse engineering your abuse to figure out, oh, that's why I do this thing. That's why I ended up this way. I don't think this is like a majority of people, obviously. At least I hope not. I hope that it's only default or normal to me because I was exposed to it for my entire life. And that being said, I don't have anything bad to say about, you know, my parents or anything either, because they had these traits or disorders because somebody taught them that that's how the world is. So I approach this with compassion and empathy, much like I said I feel like the album is that way. Because one of the things, I remember when the Heaven's Gate thing happened, one of the things a narcissistic type person would do is tell you, these people are all crazy, horrible, bad people. And it doesn't matter, they're just bad people. They might have mentioned in passing, oh, they're brainwashed, but nobody really stopped to figure out what that was, how it was done, or what it meant. And I had forgotten all about it, because you know, when you're a kid and you get told that by people of authority, you really think that you're just like, oh, it must have been a bunch of bad people. And then it got brought up again. I'm an adult now, obviously, and I was like, oh, I remember people saying these were like horrible people, and you come to find out it's not horrible people. It's a bunch of misguided, confused, traumatized, brainwashed people that didn't, you know, they didn't really do anything bad. So yeah, don't stop learning about it. Keep learning about it. In meditation, if you can make yourself meditate, because what it does, being emotionally, psychologically, and narcissistically abused, it will condition your brain. It will actually change how your brain develops. It will make the amygdala and hippocampus, one shrinks and one grows, and it keeps you in hypervigilance constantly, fight or flight mode constantly, so you're constantly just like on edge, and you will end up not doing things that aren't crucial to your own survival. It's not good. It's very unhealthy. It's bad. So meditation, and for meditation, I'm sure everybody knows who this guy is, but there's a man named Michael Sealey who's got a very calm, chill voice. You can just go to YouTube and play his sleep hypnosis stuff on YouTube. Or sleep meditation or sleep hypnosis. It is self-guided hypnosis and meditation is what it would be. I listen to him with sleep headphones almost every night, and my brain it's sorry, this is very emotional for me. I apologize, and you guys know I'm ADD and I haven't made a video in a long time, so there's a lot of nerves here. I hope you're all okay, by the way. I hope you're all okay, and the Armageddon and everything is, well, at least, at least not terrible. If it's not terrible for you guys, that makes me happy. So, yeah. Guided sleep hypnosis, Michael Sealey, that's the guy's name. Since I'm on my phone, after this is done processing and uploading, I will put links to Drab Majesty and their record labels links so that you can go to see them, to see videos or listen to the albums or anything you want to do. They have other artists that are nice and sound like 80s music too, so there is that. I will put links to Michael Sealey's channel as well after this. It's just, I'm doing this all mobile. So yeah, I know I need to get my ass back in gear. I need to get my computer and everything back up and running, and I'm dying of heat right now, and I'm so sorry for, like, you can see it's just sticking to me. Like, oh god, it's like spiderwebs stuck to me. Ugh. Anyway, see, the ADD. I'm on medicine for ADHD, by the way. It's just, it only kind of helps, and I don't want to adjust it because I've heard bad stories. The guided meditation and guided hypnosis, music therapy, art therapy, crafting, just things that keep your brain going. And that's why I say the meditation is probably the easiest, because you can put sleep headphones in at night and have guided hypnosis and guided meditations. So, yeah, I really think you should do that if you want to reverse the super hypervigilant damage that happens to your brain. It has been shown in studies to reverse that type of damage that is done with psychological, emotional, and narcissistic abuse. So before I make this any longer, I'm gonna go. I just really, because I know what it's like to have free will now and free thought and understand that my perspective is mine. I'm allowed to have it even if it's wrong. I'm allowed to have it. And so are you. You're allowed to have your perspective no matter what. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Have your perspective, okay? I just want other people to be able to know that they can do this, to know that they can deprogram themselves, to know that even though it's not common, that most people don't deprogram themselves, you can do it. It's possible, and you'll be scared, you'll be terrified, you'll freak out inside, usually mentally, like you'll freak out, but it's so much better to be aware and to know these things and to understand what happened to you in your life. I hope it helps you. I really, really hope it helps you. And I know that the man behind Deb does not want the compliments. So I'm just going to say to Deb, what you do is different and unique and amazing and special. And I don't think this was the intended purpose of any of that, but you have no idea what you've done for me and possibly so many other people. Thank you so much.